when you are planning a campaign to run at home, and it's not a pre-written module or the like, there's a couple things that you should consider. Probably more than a couple, but let's keep it simple, right? Let's keep this D&D 101. How far do you want it to go? What do you want to explore? Right? Do you want to ultimately explore some kind of a moral conundrum? Do you want this to be a test of mettle and bravery? You know, so it's more of an action RPG, kind of like a Legend of Zelda style. Do you want it to be a measure of the tough choices you have to make? Pardon. Something that explores your humanity. Either in a system kind of like Vampire, right? Where you are a monster trying to fight to pretend to be human. Or something more like Star Trek, where humanity is sent out into the stars and they try the best they can, but they still fail despite holding that as a lofty goal. And how do you want to explore this? Do you want this to be religious themed? Do you want this to be, war and strife? You can get lost among all of the options that exist. And you can also dabble, if you stay in one method, you can dabble in others and throw a little splash or a hint of something. When in doubt, roll a die. Make a list and roll a die, or class, if you have your DMGs, we're going to go over some of this as ways to prompt you to think about a type of story that you can write and run. Even if you're a novice DM, you still have it in you to make a story and present it. You know, you might get caught in the minutia of the rules about, well, so what are the rules on suffocating or doing a long jump? That's understandable. But what about what you want to present? Bear this in mind in the context of 5th edition. From levels 1 to 4, your powers and your skills and reputation are that of local heroes. Right? You're still kind of finding your feet. That's when you're securing your bardic college, by 3rd level, your wizard school by 2nd, or some of you, like a cleric, you are already your full character, so to speak, because you have your archetype in your domain. The characters in this tier are still learning the range of class features that define them, including their choice of specialization. But even first-level characters are heroes, set apart from the common people by natural characteristics, learned skills, and the hint of a greater destiny that lies before them. At the start of their careers, characters use first and second-level spells and wield mundane gear. The magic items they find include common consumable items, potions and scrolls, and a very few uncommon permanent items. Their magic can have a big impact in a single encounter, but it doesn't change the course of an adventure. The fate of a village might hang on the success or failure of low-level adventurers who trust their lives to their fledgling abilities. These characters navigate dangerous terrain and explore haunted crypts, where they can expect to fight savage orcs, ferocious wolves, giant spiders, evil cultists, bloodthirsty ghouls, and hired thugs. If they face even a young dragon, they're better off avoiding the fight. Five to 10. Now we're getting some meat on our bones, right? We're like an old Italian grandmother. Hey, put us some meat on your bones. This is Heroes of the Realm. By the time they reach this tier, adventurers have mastered the basics of their class features, though they continue to improve throughout these levels. They have found their place in the world and have begun to involve themselves in the dangers that surround them. Dedicated spellcasters learn 3rd-level spells at the start of this tier. Suddenly, characters can fly, damage large numbers of foes with the fireball and lightning bolt spells, and even breathe underwater. They master 5th-level spells by the end of the tier, and spells such as Teleportation Circle, Scrying, Flame Strike, Legend Lore, and Raise Dead can have a significant impact on their adventures. They start acquiring more permanent magic items, common, uncommon, and rare ones, as well, which will serve them for the rest of their careers. The fate of a region might depend on the adventures that the characters of levels 5 to 10 undertake. These adventurers venture into fearsome wilds and ancient ruins, where they confront savage giants, ferocious hydras, fearless golems, evil Yuan-Ti, scheming devils, bloodthirsty demons, crafty mind flayers, and drow assassins. They might have a chance of defeating a young dragon that has established a lair, but not yet extended its reach far into the surrounding territory. Dragon for scale. By the way, this is probably where we're going to start this adventure, or this campaign we're going to outline. Masters of the Realm from 11 to 16. By 11th level, characters are shining examples of courage and determination, true paragons in the world, set well apart from the masses. At this tier, adventurers are far more versatile than they were at lower levels, and they can usually find the right tool for a given challenge. Dedicated spellcasters gain access to 6th level spells at 11th level, including spells that completely change the way adventurers interact with the world. Their big, flashy spells are significant in combat, Disintegrate, Blade Barrier, and Heal, for example, but behind-the-scenes spells such as Word of Recall, Find the Path, Contingency, Teleport, and True Seeing alter the way the players approach their adventures. Each spell level after that point introduces new effects with an equally large impact. The adventurers find rare magic items, and very rare ones, and that bestow similarly powerful abilities. The fate of a nation or even the world depends on momentous quests such as that such characters undertake. Adventurers explore uncharted regions and delve into long-forgotten dungeons, where they confront terrible masterminds of the lower planes, cunning rakshasas and beholders, and hungry purple worms. They might encounter and even defeat a powerful adult dragon that has established a lair and is a significant presence in the world. At this tier, adventurers make their mark on the world in a variety of ways, from the consequences of their adventures to the manner in which they spend their hard-won treasure and exploit their well-deserved reputations. Characters at this level construct fortresses on land deeded to them by local rulers. They found guilds, temples, or martial orders. They take on apprentices or students of their own. They broker peace between nations or lead them into war. And their formidable reputations attract the attention of very powerful foes. 17 through 20, Masters of the World. By 17th level, characters have super heroic capabilities, and their deeds and adventures are the stuff of legend. Ordinary people can hardly dream of such heights of power or such terrible dangers. Dedicated spellcasters at this tier wield earth-shaking 9th level spells, such as Wish, Gate, Storm of Vengeance, and Astral Projection. Characters have several rare and very rare magic items at their disposal, and begin discovering legendary items, such as a Vorpal Sword or a Staff of the Magi. Adventurers, not adventurers, at these levels have far-reaching consequences, possibly determining the fate of millions in the material plane and even places beyond. Characters traverse otherworldly realms and explore demi-planes and other extraplanar locales, where they fight savage Balor demons, titans, archdevils, lich archmages, and even avatars of the gods themselves. The dragons they encounter are worms of tremendous power, whose sleep troubles kingdoms, and whose waking threatens existence itself. I would like to begin this adventure at level 5. For the players that were already generated, they're already heroes in their own right. So they were making progress towards these grand visions. They're tracking down the people who had dealt them a rough blow by destroying their friends or family or homelands. and they're itching to get out of their local towns and villages and go out into the greater world. Both the Warlock and Ranger both want to get revenge against bandits, raiders, or other outlaws that have attacked or caused major damage to the village. And that's a great bonding force, Roxy. Because by making a villain that's the head or a representative or just an extension of that, suddenly, woo, follow the leader. Come on, follow the bouncing bandit. Doop, 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 doop. Now, I will encourage you to read more of the DMG if you find yourself stuck. This could be for NaNoWriMo too, by the way. None of what we talked about really have mechanics or rules to 5th edition behind them. We're just talking about a story arc. About a storytelling method. In fact, I don't know if I have it here. Still conveniently accessible. No, I don't have the... I don't have the hero's journey. A lot of our campaigns that we've plotted before use a writing style, and if you want to explore it, you can go back and find the videos for that. Anyway, that aside, let's go to the DMG and take a look. By the way, boop, starting equipment. You know, low magic campaign, standard, high magic campaign. These are suggestions for starting gold and gear and rarity of items. You don't have to play with magic items in D&D. It is optional, and too many magic items might actually make things a little easy. So as a DM, if you're allowing magic items, you might need to escalate things a little bit. Anyway, so, I mean, here's plenty of advice for running thematic campaigns. Epic fantasy, mythic fantasy, just sword and sorcery, good old-fashioned stuff here. Dark fantasy, mystery, intrigue. I almost bit my tongue. And you know what? Kind of based on what we're talking about with the villain, intrigue might be the type of story that we want to tell. And this will end up giving you really solid advice. You want to set against war. You go into a multiverse. I don't play with a multiverse in my home campaign. There's no extra dimensions or pocket dimensions or anything like that. Not that I can't talk about these, but I don't need to... For what we're building here, we're not plane hopping. We're just going to a very interesting... we're going to a very interesting Arctic swamp, though. Okay. You want some, oh, we kind of touched on the other planes in our Tuesday game. And, yeah, because it is more of a general open world. I mean, we have WED-SAT, who is, you know, a goddess from Greyhawk. And we have, you know, and we have other influences and such. So, on Tuesday we do, I'm just saying in my personal game. I don't, in my own world that I've come up with. But read this. This is encouraging and empowering stuff here for you, especially as a fledgling DM. But even as, you know, someone you've run your fair share of stories, maybe you hit a groove and you've been running similar stories for a while, and you want to get out of it and try something new. You know, shake the dust off your DMG. It's all in here. You know, the adventure structure. What do you do in the beginning, the middle, and the end? What are some adventure types? You may remember this chart, the dungeon goal. What was the point of the dungeon? Oh, so Coffee Cat, they did exist and they no longer exist. And you know what? That might have an influence on the cosmology and the culture and religion and all sorts of things. So let's bring our people together here, right? We need a hook. We need to start. Hey, Shlomo, does that look familiar, huh? Ah, gotcha. Oh, gotcha, Coffee. Hook. Let's roll a d12. 12. A ghost appears and terrorizes a village. Research reveals that it can be put to rest only by entering the adventure location. Alright. So, our separate characters are all visited by a ghost. And this could very well be separate. They could live dozens of miles apart, 100 miles apart. But something is happening. This spirit is reaching out from this place. And you know what? Given the nature of things, it could be a dwarven spirit. You know, all of the characters here have a way to connect to some sort of a tragedy or an event or something to come on the horizon. And because of that, remember, let's tap into our characters. Don't just roll a random hook. You can make it personal. Look, taken prisoner in a war, so there's enemies out there. My enemies. There's an approaching horde. Ashes of war. There's a missing mentor that perhaps caused Rizgaru's wizard mentor to go missing. As a hermit, you get your background feature. These hermetic visions. So if you even want, you can see can only be put to rest, or a warning about an approaching horde is given, and that it can only be stopped in the adventure. You know, we never gave it a name. The adventure setting. Each player will have... these are notes for us as the DM, by the way. Each player will have to pass a skill test in the wilderness to gather to a supply depot on the frontier that is getting ready to leave with the last of the year's provisions. Pardon, for the setting. The winter will hold off the horde. The horse will hold off the horde. But with spring will come disaster and murder, the likes the players have seen before. So now, by setting this as a hook, we've given an implied time frame. You have the course of winter in order to try and formulate and warn and come up with plans. And now we've set this adventure, right? Your players, your human players, are going to get a chance through a mini skill challenge that you're going to offer them, a way to flex their characters, to test their skills, and to kind of get in the creative mood. This is going to then, so they're going to gather in this frontier town, and they're going to be level 6 for it, right? gathering in the town before the last caravan leaves. There are some odd jobs that need doing. For extra coin and reputation. The PCs are put into an odd job task force and must go out to collect some resources to bring back. Items, intelligence, whatever. Again, consult. What does your party like? What would they want to do? You have people who are good in the wild, people who want to help. Others, Atrabash here, would want to do some military-style training, most likely, and want to help people be better guards or the like. The PCs will travel a short distance together, which will include a fight to secure provisions and return. As well, they may begin to network as the caravan still has a month before leaving. Level 7. So this is a chance for a couple fights, for some carousing. All of this isn't one session level, one session level, one session level. Remember, we're making an outline. We're making certain points that then we can go back and fill in along the way. A horde of horses, dear God, help us. Hey, Secret Skater. Oh, you're actually, I might have forgotten that, Coffee, that you are, that it's taking place actually in London itself. On Earth. And Delcorin, Res, please, you find yourself as a male tiefling bard? Hey, good combo. I'm sure that Coffee Cat would agree to that. Level 7. On the heels of some hints of danger that were alluded to on arrival, a larger problem must be overcome by the group, who should now be semi-cohesive as a unit and beginning to explore their common goals. This can be a mutinous plot from within, a boss monster bested prior who has come back for revenge with more friends, or certain ingredients must be found to cast a spell of good weather and fortune before traveling. Coffee Cat can confirm. Roger, roger. So now, we had some skirmishes, you know, maybe like a bear comes out, you hit it a couple times and it goes off to lick its wounds, probably literally. Now, though, this is a boss fight. The party has congealed conceptually by this point, and maybe they've started to explore a couple of the connections that they found here. Right? They've had a chance to test this. And now they're getting to make these sentimental connections between each other. Level 8. The long journey begins. The overland travel can be conducted as skill challenges themselves, as a downtime activity, or as a series of random encounters that are appropriate for the region, whether I guess and attitudes. For example, we can craft a random encounter table. It's kind of like the Oregon Trail in this case. It doesn't have just monsters that live out in these Nordic woods. You know, as things are getting colder with the season and with the further and further push north and north and north and north, you can actually have a snowstorm. You can have a disease outbreak. You can have winter wolves savage the camp. So you do have monsters. You do have weather. You have, you know, you have these other events that occur. And by doing so, you're not just rolling monsters to roll monsters. I'm not a fan of that when it comes to random encounter tables. I'm not usually a fan of those. If you craft one that's appropriate and helps you to tell the story by providing clues. You might even seed a clue in there. They find a giant's footprint somewhere along the way. Oh, there's giants out here. But that's it. That was your encounter. It didn't kill anyone. But there's a giant footprint out this way. You know, build tension. Like we already built tension, and it was released with the fight. Now, as the storyteller, we have to cycle. You know, we've hit our cycle. Now we have to start ramping it back up again. Okay. This journey itself can take several sessions. I mean, depending on how often and how long you play. I guess if not attitudes, fights, events. Level 9. They reach the swamp and finally get to see what this place is about. We are now in a mode of discovery and wonder. It's here that the caravan will break and leave after, I don't know, a week. If the characters, quote-unquote, wanted to back out before winter. But of course, we know they're there for a reason. But it's there. The caravan is still there, because if they made friends with a caravan NPC or something, they can say goodbye, get some last-minute advice, you know, back and forth here. After the caravan leaves, they know they will be stuck here for 4 months. It could be 5. What do we want? With no way to escape. So now not only do we have a ticking time bomb, we have sealed them in. Now, it's a great big area. It's not just like a town. You know, it's like a half mile by a half mile. It's a big area, but it's different, right? They're going to have to learn how to live here. Whoa! Hey, Physaris, welcome. It's great to see you again. Hello. And Diadems is here too? Yes, Diadems is here. There we go. Welcome. We're getting the campaign underway here. It's here. They will first meet the Vagrant and begin to... they probably learned some custom in the caravan, but practice some local custom, as well as find a way to live and survive here. So, exploration. Does there have to be a fight? I mean, there could be a tussle. You know, there could be a bar fight or something along those lines, but it's not going to be a big boss fight or whatever. So now we get to level 10. Having established themselves somewhat, they begin to learn about what lies beneath the nice exterior of this place. They will learn of the vampire infestation, as well as some other local troubles. This could lead them to meet the Madame of the Frowning Star, who will task them with something else to do to prove their worth in helping her with this larger problem. So this could be a fetch quest. This could be an escort, in a sense. An escort mission. Or it could even be hunt down a man or a woman who skipped out on his or her large escort tab and bring them alive. This is a test. Can they follow directions to her for punishment? Also, if you have a particularly interesting local custom that perhaps is a moral gray area, then it could be presented to see how your PCs are going to react here. So for example, you know, like a thief gets their hand cut off. Your PCs might say that that's barbaric, but you know what? That's what happens here. Are they going to stop the punishment from being carried out and be outsiders trapped here forever and ever, even despite their mission? You know, which could mean that they're standing up for their ideals and they feel power from that. Or are they going to try and blend in with the locals? And what happens, happens. I mean, given the nature of the crime here, you know, this isn't just a dine and dash, but I can imagine it's not just a hand that's going to get removed. Diadem's time to decompress after D&D. Hey, yeah, oh yeah, how did that go, Diadems? You were playing with the donuts, weren't you? I hope it went well, and you know what, Diadems? It's awesome to hear that you did get to play, because I know for a while you hadn't. And I was feeling for you, brother. Level 11. This is when they first meet the BBEG, who perhaps was only rumors or stories they heard about before. Maybe not even bad ones. Because, as we know of the villain, he is in mourning after one of his wives died due to this vampiric/escort curse, and has come for revenge. This is more of a stage of info gathering and socialization. Perhaps even working jobs they found after proving themselves to the other major NPC. Level 12. Having been here for a while now, they realize the giants aren't fitting in, and odd things begin to happen. This turns into an investigation that can lead to a fight with the sub-boss Frost Giant and a few others. The clues learned from the fight can point to the greater issue the boss has with the people of this Arctic swamp confederacy. They may even learn of a plot against the president's life, but can't yet see him despite delivering the warning. Oh, also, this could mean visiting one or more of the other stilted city-states built upon the sunken dwarven city ruins. So investigation's been done. As a symbol of the escalating conflict, a severe seasonal storm is brewing and will be locking down people in the city-states. This could be the perfect chance for a murder. Level 13, Casino Dungeon. If you remember from last night, we made this Casino Dungeon encounter. And what will happen at the end of it is they will learn the more history of this place, perhaps even quite literally buried history. And they'll learn that this is a ghost of the current Confederacy president's, or a ghost or an ancestor of the current Confederacy president. Thereby learning some things that perhaps, you know, will get them further audience, let alone even some heirloom jewelry or coinage or the like. This will actually get them audience with now the head cheese of the Confederacy. You know, we started out as lowly, like level 5, we're outsiders even. You know, we're just out there, you know, kind of bonking some kobolds as we're getting ready to leave. And now we're you know, we've survived this dungeon that has devils and undead inside of it. And we've come out with some magic items, we've come out with some wealth, and now, hopefully, we've emerged from the shelter in time to prevent something bad from happening. Right, because, and by the way, this is our countdown. You want to see how quickly these bullet points can go by? right? So 5 to 6, 6 to 7. So this is going to be 16 to 17, meaning our campaign is going to end here. Because we're not going to go into epic levels with this campaign. We can leave it on a cliffhanger, or we can leave it open for perhaps a more detailed 17 to 20 to come based on the results of what's happened. So you see here, we only have 3 more levels to button this up. And we're talking conceptually, right? You could take advice from the DMG. There's plenty of it here. There's different goals, right? Adventure patrons, someone, you know, a desperate commoner could approach them to do a side quest among the notes that we're creating. You have all manner. All manner. See, an adventure climax. In fact, here, let's roll to see if we can have the climax worked in. A D12. We rolled 7. A portal opens to another plane of existence. Creatures on the other side spill out, forcing the adventurers to close the portal and deal with the villain at the same time. I would dare say it's almost like the casino dungeon. Let's roll something else, because that was letting devils kind of come into the area here. 4. The adventurers race to the site where the villain is bringing the master plan to its conclusion, arriving just as the plan's about to be completed. Okay. So, climax. The adventurers race to the site where the villain is bringing a master plan to its conclusion. So probably about ready to murk the president here. Arriving just as that plan is about to be completed. Here, they can fight physically or use what they learned from the casino or other forms of socialization / research to quell the unmitigated anger of the frost giant leader and bring understanding. This can still happen even after a quote-unquote set piece, like a large-scale, detailed action everywhere, like a big swashbuckling kind of thing, after a set piece fight where the enemy is open-minded to negotiating with superiors who have knowledge and mercy. Or he can be killed. And you know why? By the way, party goals. There's so much stuff in this book for you. I can't. I really. I could just make videos of narrating this to you, but I don't think that'd be very fun. I don't think it would be. Right? Framing events. You know, so we can say that the leader, the president, was going to be killed during, let's see, 51, an investiture of a knight or another noble. And oh, so here's this. Boom! The story writes itself, everyone. The president was going to show mercy, or to show sorrow to the giant traders who help sustain this place by awarding a medal, which is when he was going to be killed. Whoop. Killed without intervention. Moral quandaries. We could bring these up. But what I'm definitely looking for... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What a twist. What a twist. Let's roll a d10. 6. Completing an adventure goal. So perhaps the above. Fulfills a prophecy. Oh my gosh, we have prophetic characters. Fulfills a prophecy or prevents the fulfillment of a prophecy. But this is a twist. So now, it seems... And by the way, by making an event like this here, this means that we can go back and sprinkle clues in other... Remember, this is an outline. We're making an outline, so we can go back and forth and add and subtract notes as we're generating it anywhere in the document. We're not out paper and ink. Hey, Gilded, welcome. Kia ora wanao. Coffee Cat says, is that a Maori saying, Gilded? Coffee Cat says, doing my mini SWAT, I realized that Noralai has not rolled a lot for me to get an idea of what her proficient skills are. Alright, it's greetings for, it is Maori for greetings family. Well, thank you very much. Kia ora wanao to you as well, and I hope I didn't butcher that too badly. So, with this, with the Mercy, the President is alive, as is the Giant. But his rowdy men, the party had to put down before, aren't taking this lightly, as they were promised leadership in the city after it fell. Riots ensue, and the defenses and defenders are being killed, weakening this outpost, or whatever, this region come spring for the oncoming horde. The riots must be put down, and the true fight to the death style battles will occur in various set pieces around the stilted city, built upon the Art Deco dwarves holding the buildings above the bubbling swamp. Now, to earn level 17, right? We're 16 and we have to earn level 17 here. And by the way, you ever want to sprinkle in a side quest? Bada boom, here it is. All of it is right here for you. All of it is here. Unlimited potential and creativity is all right here for you. Oh, you did? But that's okay. Oh, for butchering it. Pronounce it like Kiorda Farno. Farno. Kiorda Farno. Kiorda Farno. Kiorda Farno. I want to say now, but it's no. Kiorda Farno. Kiorda Farno. Is it a hard F with the WH instead of the hua? Kiorda Farno. All right. Kiorda Farno. I will do my best to remember that, Gilded. And you can always spring it on me as a pop quiz. Kiorda Farno. WH is an F sound. You know how I see this ending? All this has been brewing over time, Months have passed. Cure to Farno. I'm practicing. With the giants all but put down, save for a few loyal to the pacified leader, life continues, and the party is lauded as local heroes. That is until one day a small contingent of the feared horde managed to fight its way through the winter to arrive and deliver a dire warning by virtue of death, slavery, and destruction. It is hinted that if 100 made it here through the Arctic cold to, they must have started with 1,000. If the Horde can spare 1,000 on a death mission, they may well have 100,000 left behind, waiting for the spring. The party must fight these hardened vanguard warriors. No amount of reason can dissuade them, and this will instill fear and urgency to get back and warn those they left behind, as well as time to use their prodigious powers to help fortify this place, to act as a bulwark against the tides of invasion. The last boss of this campaign is only the first boss of what will happen in the epic levels to come. How about that? Does that seem reasonable? Do you think that we made a compelling story, milestone by milestone? Again, we can go back now, like, so with this, maybe at some point in time back here, it could have been a red herring where someone comes back and says, oh, I found this, I don't know, I found this odd spearhead. I didn't know what was going on. Maybe it's the giants. It might be a part of the giants. And meanwhile, it was actually the first invasion force trying to breach through. And some people kind of went out onto the plains and found it during like the one nice day or something like that. So when you're making these placeholders as a DM, you're setting a broad goal, right? The one thing I want to accomplish this level is this. And my players can, wibble and wobble and go woo all the way around until they finally get to that point. At which point, they earn a level and the story continues. Until then, it's side missions. We could come up with a different dungeon. We can run 2 dungeons, 3 dungeons, 4 dungeons. There's all kinds of things that we can do. But we have a basic idea, so now we can travel back and forth through this timeline of events that have yet to occur. And we can modify details. We can add a red herring. We could throw off a lead. We can do some awesome foreshadowing. Oh, we could do some awesome foreshadowing. We can go back and do world building. We could go back and say, you know what? I like how this goes, but they need to meet another NPC. Because look, we only statted out 3 NPCs. That's it. 3 of them. We could go back and insert NPC introductions here and there, because we realize that these are different important parts that need to be facilitated. We only made 2 villains. One of them for sure is going to die or be dissipated, and that's the casino ghost. The other one, it's the option. You could kill the leader, or you could try and, sway him to your side. But now that we've invented this last kind of transition from these Paragon levels into Epic levels, we haven't statted out what this boss is going to be. And I don't mean not even mechanically. We haven't given this villain a personality. So now we can go back and do so, and then we say, okay, so reference ba-da-da, reference ba-da-da-ba. Okay, reference ba-da-da-ba. And we type it in our document. We go back and forth. I mean, for an outline, this has paragraphs. But think of it this way, right? Think of the outline as just that. So if we have start, middle, end. And then we say, okay. Actually, let's do this. That's not the formatting I want. Oh, where's my outline options? I guess this will work. Start. So then we break this up even further, and we go, caravan. Whoop. Caravan gathering, and then you go 300 pounds meat and chop 100 trees. And you could go even further, and so then we come down here, and then we go hunt local elk, trade with local tribe. And now and so you can see how you are making an outline indentation by indentation. If you want to have something that's not as, I guess, NaNoWriMo style of writing with paragraphs, you put a thought, not even a full sentence, just put a thought here. So middle, at some point here, we're going to have dungeon. We're going to have giant confrontation. Twist. End. Will be the Giant Rebellion, and Invaders. Whoop. Then Dungeon, you could put, you know, Map 1, Map 2, you know, and then it goes to return with info to meet the president. Giant confrontation, public award ceremony, attempted murder, public fight to show mercy or murder themselves. Right? And then, you know, the twist is elsewhere, danger has been signaled. That leads to the end. And you see, you can see how you can turn our presumptions or our goals above into a more organized outline. And I can heavily suggest this method as well. Look, your noggin works different than mine. And so what works best for me is it could very well be different for you. Kiorda Farno. Kiorda Farno. All right, coffee, be well. Does this make sense? Does this seem... Is this helpful? Lose the R in far. Do sort of fa. And then you got it as good as any Kiwi. Alright, so Kiorda Fano. Kiorda Fano. Kiorda Fano. Kiorda Fano. Kiorda Fano. Yep, see you Tuesday. Have an awesome rest of the weekend, Coffee Cat. Kiorda Fano. Roxy, as a newcomer to the hobby, did this explanation help you? Did it confuse you? Are you even more concerned about plotting out kind of a basic story arc? You don't have to. This was arbitrary to go from 5 to 17. You could plot a campaign that takes you from level 5 to 8, or an adventure. We can get into the semantics of, you know, what's a module, a campaign, an adventure, etc. But you know, a story. You could go from 5 to 8, and you could run these epic 3 levels. I mean, just everyone has a great time, because that's how you win D&D. Roxy, if there's other newcomers to D&D, did this process help you? Do you feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more inspired? Like with a lot of what we do, we can go back and refine it. But while we're in the mode, let's get our ideas out. Let's give ourselves guideposts. Milestones. In this case, quite literally, milestones for leveling up. If you play with experience points, it should be easy enough. You can apply EXP to different encounters. I don't personally. I go by milestones. You may do differently. I hope, though, that this has been empowering to you. And you realize, yes, what is inside of what's inside of the DMG. But more importantly, look at this. This is what's inside of you. This is our story that we built together over the course of 2 weeks. And I don't mean that by, it was, heavy industry, overtime, 2 weeks of working 60 hours a week kind of a thing. It's a second job. No one really cares. We're doing this casually over the course of 2 weeks. We have our 5-player characters, an awesome dungeon. We have some really compelling PCs and villains. And now it's all wrapped up really nicely inside this outline that has everything that we've made together. This has been a labor of our collective consciousness, of our ideas, of our time we spent together, both directly working on it, and this is also a product of all the table talk we do off to the side. Our hellos, our goodbyes, when people bought miniatures, when people subscribed or followed, or, when we met new people, or people who have come back after a while, and it's good to see them again. All of that has been baked into this adventure. Because when you finish an adventure like this, that's exactly what you get. You get the product of weeks, months, years of plotting and playing. And when this adventure is over, you are going to look back on it as if you were there yourself. You are going to speak about things that technically never happened, as if you were front row at an IMAX 3D 8K 120 FPS display, mega, 11 billion.1 surround sound theater with a big summer blockbuster. It's real because it's you. It is you. D&D is you. You put yourself into this as the DM or as the PC. These are your memories. Even the rough times. Even the times as a DM you've made a bad call, or you forgot your NPC's name, or you meant to put in this big plot reveal and everyone was so in the moment that you forgot and you just sort of continued the story without it. Oops. But who knows? Everyone's still having fun. Sneak it in later or don't and just see where it goes. I'm glad you feel inspired to create a story, Roxy. And you and others are welcome to use these materials as a basis, or to go back into the older materials that are on our past content. If you want other outlines, you want things to think about. Heck, do one of you want to use this as a foundation for practicing your arts and writing it at NaNoWriMo? I'm not going to be offended. I do hope you are inspired. And I do hope that you will go on years and years from now, and you are not only going to feel inspired and be inspired, you are going to cause that same inspiration in others around you. I mean, I was talking about this kind of at the end of character creation, and I hope it didn't sound morbid or fatalistic. That wasn't the point when I kind of made those closing comments. This is a way for you to have an impact on other people in wonderful ways, even if you mess up the story. Oh, hey, we have a raid incoming. And there's Cameron. Hey, Cameron, welcome. A Lily raid. Oh, I like the I like the zombie heart. Cameron, I hope you and the others in this raid are doing really well. Lone Lily, thank you so much for it. We just are having some final comments about the brainstorm we had to make this campaign outline for D&D. We came up with a big full story, takes you from level 5 to level 17. and it builds on the 2 weeks of campaign setting and PCs and NPCs that we all organically grew, especially out of random number generation. Right? Earlier, we did a party examination where we took the party as 5 individuals and we looked at them as an entity, as one entity. What is the party good at doing, not good at doing? As PCs and as DMs. We took a look at their personalities. How can each of the characters connect with each other on a different basis? And look, don't let the highlighting be like, whoa, baffling. This is beyond me. It's not. We're doing this one step at a time, and in all of this makes a meaningful connection. And it all came to a head right here and now tonight when we sat down and we started jotting out our ideas for the characters, the 5 characters we made, for the setting that we made, for the dungeon we made last night, the casino we made last night. We folded it all together here in a story that involves not just combat, but socializing, exploration, information gathering. There's a lot here. Yeah, Roxy, you could use some of the past content as a foundation. You are welcome to it. It's right there, Roxy. So here's some nice fan art between Dark Wolf and Norton the Knoll. But look, right here, waiting for you, past content. Download the documents, download the PDFs, watch the video if you want to just listen to it be manufactured, if you're having trouble with something or another. It's all here for you. Use it as you want. Yeah, as Diadems asked, how did your session go? Lily, Cameron, any others who came over? If you want to share your channel, you want to talk about what you do, you're certainly welcome to do so. You're friends of the channel here, and I certainly look. I want to do business with people who do business with me. Let me help give you a platform. Oh, snap, a double wedding. Well, sir, if you want to share more, you're welcome to.